Paintball nerd.
Today's guest on Paintball Nerd, we are welcoming back the man with 339 subscriptions on YouTube and over 322 million views on YouTube. The man, the myth, the legend. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the show, Verbhal.
Hello. Thank you.
Hi. Welcome back, buddy.
Thank you. I'm happy to be here.
Last time we spoke, you were saying that you're going to work on some more long-form content on YouTube. How's that working out?
It's all in the pipe right now.
In the hopper.
I got some really cool stuff coming up. I just sent off my footage for a longer kind of highlight music edit for World Cup, which should be pretty cool. I actually had a pretty big mistake earlier because I was at the ICPL and I was following Meter around and just getting his thoughts on everything, and we found some really cool stuff, right? Like we had the Crooked Crew thing. Like there was a lot of really good content, and somehow when that was backing up to my NOS, something happened and it didn't work, and I didn't realize that. And so we have the vertical clips, but I don't have the stuff to make a full YouTube video from that, which is a major bummer because gosh darn it, that was just really good stuff.
What's NOS? You said uploading to NOS. What is that?
It's network attached storage. So that's what I use to put all my backups on. I got I don't know. I filled up one. I had to buy another one this year. So the first one's like 66 terabytes, and this next one is as well. So
66 terabytes.
Yep.
And that's not enough for you.
Nope.
How much does a 66 terabyte storage cost?
It's usually about $3,000 when you put so there's 6 hard drives in there, and they're all like 18 terabytes each, but then they RAID together. So then you get the 66 because I can have 2 of them fail and still be able to get all of the stuff off if that happens.
Verbal, what's funny is like I was talking to Ryan Greenspan recently about him wanting some footage from such and such and wanting some pictures and such. But it's like, as a media guy, sometimes you can't even get access to the own footage that you have. It's like it got lost right.
Right. And that's the thing. Like it's a weird thing, but like if you're in a photo, you don't have the right to just take that and rip it. Like there's been a lot of court cases like the Kardashians and the paparazzi. Like they'll post a photo from the paparazzi and there's been lawsuits, and they normally just settle. But I mean, that means that they're getting something, which it's kind of a crazy thought, but that's just how it is. That's what the copyright law is. And I don't know, I feel there's been bad practices in paintball for a while. Feels like we're trying to correct them and do things the right way. And, not everyone's going to be as knowledgeable about copyright law as myself. Because I spend a lot of time, I have to look into this stuff. I have a lot of people stealing my stuff.
What is copyright law? Like, just sum that up for us.
So when I shoot something, I'm the copyright holder. And then you have to ask permission if you would like to use that.
But what if it's of me?
Yeah, that doesn't matter.
What if my likeness is a registered trademark?
I'm not sure about that, but I don't even know if you can do that.
You can't license yourself, your likeness?
I'm not sure. I don't know. I know LeBron's gotten in trouble for it too.
Well, so Dynasty talked about like, okay, we might want to have the NXL sign an agreement to where they can't use any images with our likeness unless we have access to those images as well. Is that an enforceable thing that Ryan is talking about?
I do not believe so. So one thing is there's a lot of talk about a new media agreement with the NXL. It definitely needs to happen for sure. If you look at all the major leagues, all of the leagues technically own all of the footage because of their trademarks, of their, like the bunkers even say at an NXL. Like, so, we'll need to have a new agreement, but there's also many benefits to letting guys like myself in there and shooting kind of everything.
Yeah.
Like
Benefits
I'm
for who?
everyone in paintball, because I feel I get more eyeballs from outside paintball. I mean, that's kind of the point of the media. Like, say we're the Dallas Morning News at the Mavericks game, and we're covering Luka, and Luka's like, oh well, I want a cut of what they are making selling newspapers. Well, that's not how it works, and you already got the benefit of being in the media. Which is, I mean, that's kind of how the media works, right?
So by going to a basketball game, if I'm a basketball player, all the images that are shot belong to the league, right?
Yes.
Okay. It is not that way with paintball right now,
No.
right?
No.
So if it
And
were, then we could probably do something. But since everyone owns their own footage, it's different, right?
and each team though also hires photographers and videographers, and they're allowed to use that stuff in their agreement with the league. So you do have to hire someone for that. Like this year, I don't know. After Cup, I was like, man, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to do this next year, just because I am independent, and I was looking at the revenue from how I had done it the year before, which Ryan had touched on a little bit. So yeah, last year, because of Facebook, I made a lot of money, enough to do it, full time, and really, give it my all. And that's how you got to see that level of content. And then so this year, Facebook just cut the views, cut the money. They got rid of the program that I was making all the money in as well. So I'll give you some numbers here. Like last year, I did make over six figures. I made $103,172 from Facebook, which is insane. But then taxes, it's about 70 something grand, which is full time. That's I'm pretty happy with that. If I was making that this year, I'd be very happy, but that's not the case. This year on Facebook, I made $6,040. So
Because of less views, or because they changed the algorithm on how you get paid?
yeah, both.
Gotcha.
Because they have
So
ads
you
on
have less
Reels now,
views and less.
which doesn't. So like last year, September, I made 16,000, and then October, it dropped to 3,200, and then November was 800, and December was $757. So it just like fell off, and I knew it wasn't forever, right? Like I'm no dummy. I was like, I know that this is gonna end. This is too good to be true, and so now I have to figure out ways to make it all work, which is I guess you want every income stream, which is something that in paintball you have to do if you want to continue to do it. So
what do you do? I mean, you go from making 100 grand to making $6,000. That's the equivalent of losing your job.
yeah.
So what do you like? Where's the hot ticket now? Like what platform is paying?
I mean, YouTube is the way, right? I definitely can see. I just need to get that going with the long videos, because most of my views are from the shorts, which is great, but they don't pay for shorts. Long form content on YouTube pays way, way more. But yeah, I just got to get that going, and I definitely have some cool stories to tell there. Like we went to Cali for the duel, and I went with Jacob Johnson, the little Amish boy from Paintball Fit. He won the Texas event, and I took him around to some of my favorite places to eat when I used to live out there, and all kinds of different stuff. So I've been working on that video. That should be really cool. Little look behind the scenes of different kind of stuff, that's the stuff I want to see. Like the stuff you guys do, like you and Dylan did, like I love that stuff. Like paintball action, I'm just kind of like, whatever. It's paintball.
That's
But
what gets the views, though. Like I will never, a paintball nerd clip, no matter how good it is, will never compete with a cool paintball clip. Someone
right.
missing a reload or taking
Right.
a digger with their barrel. Like that stuff is what gets all the views. But it's also somehow necessary what I do, which is kind of weird too.
Right. Well, that's the stuff I want to see. I like behind the scenes. I think that's also important that so I think this has really hurt the industry a lot in the storytelling is that each team doesn't have like a video and a photographer.
Yeah,
Like because you look at any other big sport, they all have, media teams. But it really hurts the storytelling because like, we got a whole bunch of GI companies, but like GI can say, all right, we want to tell a story about this team this time, but we could have all the stories being told all the time, which would help a lot, I feel like.
that's just money, right?
Yep. Yep. And it'd be hard too, because then you'd have to have pretty much someone with a full-time position of uh
Yeah,
keeping people off the field that's they're trying to sneak on to not shoot their team. Like, everyone's trying to sneak on to shoot Dynasty or something, but because the idea is that you would allowed to be on the field when your team plays. And then, if it's not one of your teams, then you're not supposed to be out there. So I mean that would create a lot of headaches, but I don't know. I think moving forward, that's the way. So it's weird because in paintball, the companies can buy platinum sponsorships and they get pro passes, which is, I don't know, not done in any other sport. And true, we're not any other sport yet. But if you look at like Nike and Adidas, they don't have guys at NBA games just, shooting for the gain of the companies.
yeah. Or do they? Don't they have photographers out there?
I don't know if they have their own. I think they just buy stuff because they have the money for it. So
So how would it work in paintball? We'd have a bunch of photographers that are hired by the league, and then anyone that wants to use those images or footage can license it from the league. And how do you see it?
um,
How do you see it working ultimately?
see, I'm not sure about that. Because that's another thing when you get into this stuff in copyright is there's personal use and then there's commercial use. So like if I say I'm gonna shoot photos for your team playing this weekend, uh, those are for personal use, right? Like you can't just give them to GI and be like, hey, look, this is a cool photo. Use it for an ad or whatever, right? So the rates are very different between those two things. So
Well, what about Ryan's thing where it's like he wants a folder? Like, is that a realistic request? Like, he wants the media guys to just make a folder. Make a folder for Dynasty.
okay, I do have thoughts on that too, because like, I don't know, like it's a weird thing. I want as much paintball footage out there as possible, but at the same time, everything comes down to time, and that's our most valuable resource that we have. Like, even if I wanted to give everyone their own stuff, I mean, yeah, you could just have one huge drive, but then, people would be just running clips of whatever. And then if you're going to take the time to break it up by each team, like even that would just be a huge, huge undertaking.
Yeah, so you need someone to organize the files. You need someone to buy the drive too, because you mentioned what it's $3,000
Right.
right there for
Right.
whatever terabytes, 30 terabytes. So it's not an easy request, right? Just to make a folder. Like
Right. Right. And
there's
then,
a job behind it.
right. And then people will say, oh, well, just send me, the clips you don't use. Well, I still, have to cut those clips. Um, I can't just give people footage because I shoot in S-Log3, which is uncolor graded. So you have to go in there and add the colors back. So, I mean, I could shoot in different ways, but I'm always looking for the highest quality myself. So,
So no, Ryan, you can't have a folder.
no,
That's what it comes down to.
you can pay me and I'll get you a folder. But I mean, that's a big thing. Like, yeah, I'm trying to figure out how to continue to do this. Like, because I could just, go shoot videos and photos of my son and make like a family account and, you know, I'm sure it would do way better than anything I could do in paintball.
Do you pay for yourself? Like, does anyone hire you to go out there, Verbal, or are you just funding it yourself?
Nope, it was all self-funded. So yeah,
So how do you make money off the images? Do you sell them to like Lone Wolf or GI or whoever wants them, or
no, I
how do you
haven't. I
monetize
haven't.
that?
Yeah, so I went out there and I was literally chasing the dragon this year of the social media dollars from last year. which is why I'm like, this is unsustainable. But I mean, I'm gonna find a way to make it, work. Like I got merch now. That's a big thing. That's what you do when you have a lot of followers is, you sell merch. So definitely go check out some Verbal merch. It's all super understated. It's stuff you can wear. It's not super paintball-y. There's a shirt on there for Mondays though, which is super paintball-y. But I'm trying to make some cool stuff I want to wear every day. What's that?
Where do we buy it at?
You go to let's see, XXV the label is where we get it at. I partnered up with Michael Diaz, and he does some great stuff. And then you go to xxvthelabel.com, and then you can find the Verbal collection. But he does great stuff because I don't have to have a lot of inventory, and he'll just print the things off as they come in and send them out, which is fantastic, which, saves it, again, time. That allows me, to keep creating and making cool things. So yeah, we can crowdsource this without, like a GoFundMe. If you like Verbal clips, I could really use some help and just go snag a shirt or something.
This conversation is it's concerning, very concerning to me, because I think Verbal. So you have several 100,000 times the audience that I do. 330 subscribers. I have like less than 2,000 subscribers. Views, you have 300 million views.
Right.
And I have thousands of views. And I'm trying to think about like, how am I going to get paid? How am I going to turn this into a job? This is what I want to do for a living, making paintball stuff, making paintball content. You're doing it better than anyone else, and you're asking the same question. That's a problem, right? That's a challenge.
Yep, that's a big problem.
And am I going to make a living off selling Paintball Nerd t-shirts and hoodies and tumblers? No, like there's not enough margin in those items. So what as paintball creators, like how do we solve this? Like how do we we bring enough value to the market to make an income?
Right. I think that's the biggest problem is because, I'm at, I would say, the top. I have, probably more followers than most, except Matt the Gym Rat, because his TikTok's crazy, which I have a little beef with that because he has 400,000 more views than me on TikTok, but like 900,000 more followers. But that's just, when you got into it, TikTok was giving you way more juice with follower wise at the start. And that's why I got paid so much by Facebook, is because Facebook was like, oh my gosh, TikTok is just crushing us. We need to get people on here. And they overcorrected. But I don't know. Yeah. Like I said, I knew that wouldn't be forever. So now I'm trying to figure out how to make this thing work.
So you don't have an answer. You don't have an answer for me.
Yeah, no, not yet. I mean, I really do think YouTube could be the way. You got to get these long videos out. Like I'm not a great editor. I'm working on it. Right. It takes a lot of time. The way our buddy Dylan's brain works, like it just works different. Like, man, he sees things, he'll see something in the clip and just like make it gold. And I'm like, what? I would have just tossed that clip every time. Like he'll hit the slow-mo on it and you'll be like, man, that looked great. And he'll be like, yeah, just what I didn't even see that.
Yeah. And he filmed some stuff that way too. Like, I got to get this and that shot. I'm like, why? Like, I don't see it. Like, he's like, and he'll always say, movie magic, bro. Just trust me. Movie magic. I'm like, it's going to work. I'm like, cool. Yeah, Dylan is a special dude that can do that. Like, because he's involved in all aspects of it, like filming, editing, getting it out into production. Like he can see the whole thing through,
Right. And like, I could take more teams. I could take divisional teams, but then, people wouldn't be getting the pro content that they enjoy as well. But I mean that, we'll leave that up to the people. If you want to see it, go buy some merch. But like I'm hurting right now. But
that's the thing too, is like people, like you hear a lot of chirping like, oh, we need more semi-pro, we need more divisional. These people aren't getting enough credit for what they do. But it's the old, it's the old thing. It's like, well, who's going to watch, right? Do we have the numbers to say that we should focus on this because people are going to watch? I agree that divisional players deserve credit for the effort and the cost and the sacrifice to be where they're at and make their way to the top. But there's a reason that people want to make it to the top, right? So that's where the glory is at. That's where the coverage is at.
Right.
So it's like, does it make sense just to start covering lower divisions when everyone's trying to make it to the top anyways? That's where they want to be. That's where the coverage is at, you know?
Right. Well, and then the thing is, you know, a paintball clip is a paintball clip. It doesn't matter if it's Ryan Greenspan or D5 guy. If they just, you know,
Sure.
if they just eat it, like that's going to do great no matter who it is. Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
There's a boost if it's, you know, a guy on the top end because everyone's like if it's Mouse or something, right? Like Mouse always, like anytime I post Mouse, like it does well. And I've been roasting Mouse recently. Sorry, buddy. But, you know, like, but people need to see that stuff. So, and he's like, well,
You
now the
have
refs are
some
going to,
cheating clips or something?
yeah, yeah. And he's like, now the refs are going to call me out on BS. I was like, dude, if they call you out on BS and I get that on camera, I will run over there and make sure that it's known. You know, I got your back, dude. Don't worry.
Yeah. Good old Mouse. Well, he's a good. I mean, I did a segment on World Cup about cheating. You know, players
Right.
cheating,
Yep.
and it turns out that 100% of people would cheat without refs. Like,
yep.
No one really shied away from that. So when you're in the when you're the best in the world at playing, or one of the best in the world, and the game is on the line, and it's for glory, for first place, for all this, and you can get away with something, I think the best in the world are going to do that.
Right. Right.
You know, and the best videographers in the world are going to catch that and make a segment called Crooked Crew.
Crooked Crew.
How much footage do you have of people cheating?
No, honestly, it's not that much. Like, I don't know. You don't get that many clips. Like, so I do think that I do have the stance that refereeing paintball is impossible because paintballs do crazy things. Like you can't catch everything. The camera can, but you know, with your naked eyeball, like I get a look. I'm sitting at home, you know, after relaxing in the AC. You know, I'm not out there standing out there all day. Like that's the thing. Like it's just for them and for us media guys, it's a beating to stand out there all day just getting blasted. So
sure, yeah.
I don't have that many cheating clips, but
how are you going to make a segment called Crooked Crew without the cheaters?
Right. Yeah,
maybe look more for it.
Oh yeah, no, I have a pretty good eye for it. Like I know I can see the way a paintball sprays or something too. Like I watch a lot of paintball videos, right? Like
who cheats a lot?
I don't know, who do we throw under the bus?
Someone.
I don't have a guy that I'm like, this guy cheats the most. I could probably add him up because I name my clips funny things and it's usually like cheating. Like, well, I'll get back to you on that. We'll look it up. I'm down to, you know, we need data.
Yeah. What do you think paintball's as far as the media is concerned, are paintball's biggest challenges? Like, how do we grow this thing? Really?
Well, I think I think at the core, it's a big problem that there is no independent person that wants to come in outside of paintball and cover paintball because I guess it's not, you know, it's really hard to make profitable. I think that's a big issue, that we don't have any, you know, media that's not tied to a company or something like that. I think that's a huge challenge and we need to figure out how to do that. And yes, I do. I mean, I have big interest because I would love to do that myself because I just love paintball and I want to make really cool stuff. And I think I do, but yeah, it's just so hard to, you know, make it profitable.
What would you be doing? Like, okay, paintball media is done. There's no way you can make money off of it. YouTube and Google and everyone says, okay, we're not going to pay for this content because they're using guns. Boom, it just happens. You cannot make money in paintball content. What are you going to do?
I would definitely go to traditional sports. Yeah,
you do that already, right?
Yeah, I do traditional sports on the side. Like basketball. I love basketball so much. I've done a lot of football. I got a kid I shoot for that is a quarterback here. Excuse me, here in Texas. Michael Hawkins Jr. He's going to go to Oklahoma next year, and he's a top tier quarterback. So I cover all his games. So yeah, I would find my way in traditional sports, which I do love, but I just love paintball. So
Yeah, it's a funny industry to choose for a videographer, right? Because
right,
it's got to be the worst possible sport for the equipment.
right. That
It's
see,
not
that's the
it's not
thing.
great. It's not comfortable.
Right. I'm sitting on like, I don't know. I need to send my camera and get it fixed. It needs a new screen, probably like, I don't know, $2,000 worth of repairs just for, like it adds up very
Jeez.
quickly. And yeah, if I'm having a hard time, think about all those other dudes out there, like, but I mean, for any growth, you definitely need media. I mean,
Yeah.
I have had people at Paintball Fit. I had a kid come up to me and he said, "Yeah, I started playing paintball because of your videos." And I was like, I should have recorded that for content because that would have been great.
Totally.
But
Yeah.
I was just like, I was floored. Like that's what I want, right? Like that. What more could I ask for? That is so cool. Um, like even on Sunday, we had two little girls coming out playing paintball with some of the other young girls that play out there and their dads. Like what? Like that was just mind blowing. I was like, wow, that's what we need.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's how we grow the sport. I don't know how that translates to dollars for people in paintball media.
right,
Like just money. More money needs to come into the sport in order for media guys ever to this to be really lucrative for an extended period of time. More money needs to come into the sport first.
yep,
So I don't know how that happens. And then once it does come in, I don't know how all the media guys get paid either. Like it seems like something we all just kind of have to do for free to get eyes on the sport, and then maybe it pays off someday. I don't know.
right. I'm hoping I've built this YouTube thing up quite a bit. I mean, I know shorts don't necessarily um, you know, it doesn't mean people will watch my long form content, but I think if I put out the best content possible and make it interesting enough, people will definitely watch that. Like I do want to do verbal eats because we go to all these different places and I can look up a cool spot to go and film whoever. Wanted to get that going with Meter because he lives out here in Dallas. Or go out with the Fit Crew and go out and eat something cool and make a video on that. Like most of
Yeah,
my algorithms are all like food reviews and food content. So I mean, you got to chase your passion. So I think people would really enjoy that. Like I said, I did it with J Money in Cali, and I think it's gonna be a pretty cool video. I think people will really like that. So
yeah, and like people consume those videos that are outside of paintball too. It's just an interesting travel bloggy type, uh, you know, type video. You could do a lot of things with paintball, like outside of the paintball field. The eats
right,
video is one of them. You could go to Ryan Greenspan's house and see what his week looks like. Watch him go down to the beach.
right,
There's like a lot of cool lifestyle things that pro paintball has that I think would tell a good story. But then you got
right,
to look too verbal because you got Hormesis making their movie, and what is that about?
right.
And we have Best Kids in Texas, and then we talk about throwing some kind of long form thing up on YouTube, and it's like, well, like how's that going to do? In comparison to what we have out there,
Right.
or
And
are
that's the
going to
thing,
have
like
out there.
any YouTuber, like they don't rely on the AdSense. They make merch and they do, all these other things, affiliate links and yeah, you just gotta really hustle. And yeah, I'm down for it. But
Yeah. Yeah, I haven't pursued any sponsors. I'd like to do affiliate links too. I talked to Dresser a little bit about that, but yeah, I got to figure that out. I got to crack that nut, making content and figuring out how to like actually make this a job where I can go get a big boy job. That's not fun.
right. Yeah, I'm trying my best not to.
Yeah.
Like it's tough now because I got my little guy, so like going away for a weekend of paintball is tough because I'm like, man, I miss him so much. And that's a
Yeah.
whole nother thing. Now I got a kid to pay for, and I got another one on the way coming in January.
Whew.
Yeah, 13 months
That's
apart.
close,
This
dude.
is crazy. Yeah, holy schmolies.
Are you going to be able
Uh-huh.
to do this next year?
I mean, we'll see, right? We'll see.
Yeah.
If I can make some money, yeah, for sure. But Yeah, that's a big issue, and I don't know. I'm gonna hustle and we'll be able to do it. Like I shot a lot of paintball this year. Like
Yeah.
I was going to the field like 4 times a week, which I'm super lucky to be able to do that because we have Nightball at Paintball Fit, which is probably one of the coolest things ever. There is nothing like paintball on a Wednesday. Like that
Yeah.
just breaks up the week, because you always had to wait for the weekend, right? Like that was the thing. That is the thing with paintball is you have to wait for the weekend. But if you can go on a Wednesday night and play 2 hours of paintball, like that just absolutely changes the week. Like you're having a terrible week and, you can go out and play and get some stress out and just absolutely, it's huge.
Are you out there making content? Or are you playing?
Usually I'm making content. We get at Nightball. Nightball is the craziest mixed bag of people ever. Like you get new people all the time because it is perfect for people to try paintball for the first time. So they'll come out. So how it's set up at Paintball Fit, it's $50 and that covers entry and paint for the night. So you just go to the shark tanks and you fill up from the pod caddies that they put all the paint out there, and then you just get on the box as much as you can. And so, you'll have guys from like Colt Lukow playing to like some guy, it's his first time out there ever. And, they're just trying paintball out, but they're also getting tips from these high level guys as well. So it's wild. And the content is great because, yeah, you get all these new guys. And
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't like roasting brand new people.
It's great.
I mean, it is really
Watch it because
funny. And it gets the
you
views, but
see,
you're like, man, I want this guy to come back too, right? So it's like
yeah.
that's a tough one because I'm like, man, yeah.
Well, you can tell when you got a guy that's like, okay, I've been watching these experienced guys run and dive, and I think that's the way to do it. So I'm gonna try that. And you see it like a brand new guy try and go dive, and he doesn't have a good time. I like those clips a lot.
Yeah, those are great.
I'm sure they like them too. It's like, oh, I made it on a verbal clip.
Right, yeah.
So Verb, I mean, what do you think? How does paintball fix its woes? How do we fix our issues?
I don't know. I think about it all the time, and I still haven't come up with a solution. I mean, I definitely think more media is a good thing. Like, I tell my wife, like everything you see from paintball. It helps us all. Like, it really does. Like, yeah, just we want as much paintball media out there as we can get. Like if I can go through these struggles and make a difference for everyone else, like that would be super cool. Yeah, it's not an easy time, but I don't know. I think there's something there, and I think I don't know, just seeing by the views that people will watch it, even if they're just saying, "Oh, there's no skill involved in this," which is the funniest comment that I get. So,
yeah. I was gonna ask you something. Talking about challenges in media. What else did you want to talk about before while I think about that?
yeah, so I have a whole bunch of notes. I was looking over to see what else I got on here.
Oh, I was going to ask you, Verb. Like, what changes would you implement in Major League Paintball if you could?
Well, like I said, I would have each team would have a set amount of media slots. That would be number one, just to increase the storytelling for the teams. I don't know if I would do away with platinum sponsors, but
yeah, what rules would you change?
right, yeah, that one's a tricky one because I know it does bring in a lot of money for the NXL.
Okay, why would you change platinum sponsors? Why is that even a topic?
I just think it's you don't see it in any other sport. Like I said, you don't see Nike with a guy at the Mavericks games or whatever. So I think that's where it gets weird because I look at other sports and I'm like, all right, well they do it this way, but we're not there yet, so maybe we can't do it that way. So
yeah, because the way that the sports do it now is the league owns everything. Do we want that?
I don't know. It depends because they can own everything and still license you. Like I don't think the NBA goes and just takes random people's clips Like they have, the NBA does hire their own guys too. Like you'll go to a game. I got this one photographer I follow, and he'll go shoot for the NBA, for the NFL, like for the actual, they'll have their own guys out there as well. So they're not just, going out and taking all the content. But I think
Yeah.
that's just how they protect themselves. So
I think Major League Paintball is kind of pushing towards they want to control or own the content. But I don't know, dude. I don't know what's on the wall. I don't think anyone really knows exactly what the plan is.
right, right. It's
So
very important though. Yeah. Cause if it goes bad, like, all right, later alligator, like,
what
I
is
don't know. I
bad?
can, huh?
What would classify bad?
If I can't monetize in any way off of the content I make, then that would be a big problem. Like, on YouTube or something like that. Like that would probably be the end right there.
So that's not a paintball problem. That's like a world problem, a YouTube problem if they decide to, end monetization.
Right,
So I
right.
don't think we have to worry about that one. What are your thoughts when it's like someone wants a picture and they don't want to pay for it?
I mean, like I said, I told you how much, we're losing it out there, and $15 for a photo. Like, I mean, I don't know that. Yeah, just hook it up. But I also
But what?
understand that, pro paintball players aren't getting paid a ton too. And I know Ryan
Yeah,
Greenspan's out there, hustling every revenue stream he can as well, so that he can continue, to play at the highest level. So like we're all hustling. Like, we're more similar in that than anything.
yeah.
And like me personally, I'm a terrible businessman. Like that's I don't know. I just don't like talking business. I don't like talking money. Um, so that's hurt me, and I'm trying to figure that out, and get away from that, and be better at it. Like locally, right? Like I can shoot tournaments locally and do pretty well. But when you go to NXL, the travel, the hotel, the car, time away from home, all that stuff really adds up.
Yeah. Ever thought about getting a job with Ghost Sports or something like that?
I don't know. I don't know. I mean, I definitely like some stuff they do. I think I could help them a lot as well. There's some things. I mean, when you shoot as much paintball as I do, you see things and you're like, all right, well, we could do this way, and it's like just little things, little changes. Like we need the field to just be a little bit longer. Like that would help immensely, because the
Why?
best the best shot in paintball is um, seeing a guy shoot a ball and then have it go, and then you see it hit the other guy. And with the dimensions of the field currently, like if you go on the back line, you're just getting roasted. Um, Elevated positions do help. That's why something like the duel was so cool, because the
Hmm.
angles, like I figured out pretty quickly that the best angle was elevated over the right hand row of bunkers, just looking down, and then you can just see all of the paint flying. And so that allows for that best shot in paintball.
Hmm. So making the NXL field longer, you think you'll get better shots, or just
Yeah,
making more room in the back?
right. Or give us hockey holes in the net, and then have like a
Oh,
net around it, so we could stick our camera lens through, and then we'd all fight over who gets the hockey hole for whatever match. But I mean, if you have team guys, then that's kind of where it would go. Um, so yeah, there's I don't know. I think as well. This is for Go Sports, and they really started doing a way better job of this. Paintball doesn't have a broadcast view, and drones are the answer, right? Like there's no, like you watch an NBA game, NFL game, there's a standard broadcast view, and
sure.
the drone allows that, so you could see all 10 players and you could see their movements. And yeah, I think they did I haven't watched too much from World Cup Go Sports yet, but I know they were doing a way, like they really stepped it up, which is great for the game.
Yeah, they had Steven on like a little drawing pad, and he would draw circles and things. They're still dialing it in, but
Right.
they're
Yeah.
working towards that.
That helps a lot. But yeah, I think we need a standard broadcast view for sure. I know it'll require many drone batteries, but
Yeah.
because then you can show that, and you can show the action, and then, um, in the break, you can show the up close, like sideline camera, whatever it is, something like that. So,
well, with drones, you have drone batteries, like you said. You got drone pilots. It's a lot. Everything's a lot.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. End of the day, yeah, it always comes to money. But how do we bring more money in? It's in more media, you make people care. Yeah, you just got to make people care about people. Like in pro sports, I care about certain players, and like I'll follow, whatever they do. And like that's what I'm trying to do, even just locally at Paintball Fit. I'm trying to build everyone into their own character that people will care about. Like
Invest into.
we have the Amish boy. We got Big Smooth. I don't know. I'm trying to build some characters, and people,
Is Colt Big Smooth?
No, his brother Brody is.
Okay.
And
Colt's a good character.
Yeah, but I need to work on Colt's character because he's just fat guy for Paintball Fit, which is kind of a hilarious character, but at the same time, it's not ideal. And I was gonna try and push for T-Loke because that's Colt backwards, which is pretty funny, right? And then he could just I don't know, he could just have this kind of alter ego thing, I don't know. There's something there. Like when he snaps on you, it's like, yeah, all right, that was T-Loke, so.
He's a good character though, like because
Right.
because of his size and because that he wins, and it's like there's something there. You just gotta find
right. It. Yeah, people get so mad at him online, and he like, man, that guy will smoke you. Like, watch the heck out. Like,
yeah. Well, people just see his size and they're like, oh, well, how is he a paintball player? It's like,
right. So here's actually a pretty funny story about the Big Smooth nickname. So yeah, that's Brody Lukow, and man, when you watch him, run and dive and stuff, you're like, man, that was smooth. And then so one day he picked up a pod on the ground and it had a Big Smooth sticker on it. And I was like, huh. And like, I think I made a clip. There's a clip out there of him picking that up. And I was like, Big Smooth. I like that. And then so this is the best part. That was actually Paul Mart. And that is, I believe, the boyfriend of the Paintball Fit heckler, the cheerleader.
Oh.
So we stole his nickname and gave it to Brody, which is, adds to the story.
Big Smooth. I love it. Cool. Well, Verbal, anything else that you want to talk about here today? Anything you want to part with for the paintball community?
No, I just want to keep making cool stuff. You can enable me to do that, paintball community. Just go buy a Verbal shirt. If you ever seen anything you like, really, really use some support right now. I don't like it's, how hard it is to even ask for that? Like, man, that's that. I don't want to be doing that. I just want to go make cool stuff. And I do want to collaborate, with everyone. Like there's something there. We can do it. We're gonna do it. I'm gonna do my best. So we'll get there. We'll make this thing something cool. We'll make it, legit. But yeah, it's gonna take. There's some bumps along the way for sure.
Awesome. All right. Well, to buy your stuff, it is at
xxvthelabel.com. And then
follow you on YouTube on
Verbal
with an H.
Yeah, just like it's spelled on the screen. Put the Verbhal. Yeah, put the H in there. Yeah, get ready for some really, really, really cool YouTube stuff coming soon. And hopefully we'll get out there and eat some cool stuff too. So
cool. Thanks, Verb.
Thank you.